Netflix.
I love you too.
Happy New Year and welcome to Damn It Vacant on Netflix. No, sorry, wrong show. I am Ellis here with Joe and John. I've never heard the word Netflix so much as I have in the last
It lost
48
all
hours.
meaning.
It got very, very. We know. I'm watching. I can tell I'm watching.
Watching
it. Like,
Kind of weird because like any other show that moved network, it would not really acknowledge it, but it just felt so constant.
do you reckon like in the thing, like every week? It's the anytime Netflix isn't on screen, everyone should be asking, "Where's Netflix?"
Where's Netflix? But I mean, I guess some people will be pirating it and all, but it's like advertising to people who have already paid for it. It's bizarre.
Yeah, that was the thing I didn't understand. I'm watching this on my big telly. I'm not watching it on my laptop off some dodgy streaming site, like how I used to watch Raw.
Yeah, well, we'll get round to that. But yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. We've had a few weeks break. I'd say, are we rested? I still have the respiratory tract infection I had before we broke up.
That's
the COVID or whatever.
Nah, it's
Morecambe.
The Morecambe infection.
I was in hospital last Thursday. They're like, yeah, you've had a virus, probably COVID. It's giving you a respiratory tract infection. It's virus.
Woo! Yeah. No, yeah.
Now I don't sleep properly because I pulled like a muscle just from constant coughing. So every time I roll over, I get a pain. It wakes me up. So I'm absolutely fucking it.
How are you still alive? Like it's kind of impressive.
Sheer force of will.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just absolute vengeance.
Like nothing works, but you just keep going.
Like a mosquito, not a mosquito.
Yeah, like a mosquito. I hang around in stagnant water, and I'm easily outmaneuvered by a net.
And quinine. That's why I drink gin straight.
Oof, yeah. That's lovely Scottish gin over Christmas. It's very nice. Couldn't tell you what it was called, but it was very nice. It was like drinking water, which is why I don't remember New Year's.
And you bought some of the Kraken rum that I was drinking the last time we recorded it.
Yeah, I got 2 bottles of that. I didn't barely got to see Christmas, that, to be honest, because once I opened it, I'm like, oh, it's nice. I'll just have a test, and then half a bottle in, I'm like, I'm gonna get a kebab.
That's how that goes.
It is, but yeah, no, Christmas was fun. I think I'm about 70% like fancy cheese now. I've grown weary of cheese, which I thought was a day would never come.
Is that possible?
When you're having it for every meal because you bought so much.
Yeah, I've had a mostly pork-based diet. It's been good and bad. Yeah.
For Christmas?
No, I went turkey at Christmas, but just been a lot of like, I don't know, sort of sausages and bacon. It's been good.
Fair enough. No, that's good. That's one of the major food groups.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's been fine. I got everything I wanted for Christmas, which was nothing. That was good.
Enjoy your steak and a stone?
Yes and no. It was prohibitively expensive and kind of rubbish. Like, I mean, I felt sorry for you, you poor bastard, paying £7 for 3 fucking prawns.
Oh no, we're doing that bit again.
No, yeah, the cocktails were nicer than the food, to be honest. Like,
They were.
and we went to that little pub thing afterwards. That was nice. I think we're going there tomorrow because we're going watching Sonic 3 because we're grown-ups.
Oh, I've seen it. That's good.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You've not seen Sonic 2, however, you won't understand it.
I think she'll manage.
The law, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The Sonic law is complicated and disturbing.
Stay for the post credit.
No. Gotta go home, Traitors is on.
Yes. So yeah, we best crack on. We are recording on a Wednesday night, getting in earlier so we can be done for 9 p.m. Traitors. So
yeah,
very important.
We're just going to do the last week. We're not covering 3 weeks.
Oh, there's been so much between then and
the
here
last
now.
week. There's been a lot. So yeah, that's just
Netflix.
Shows.
But stop saying Netflix. But before we get into
Keep
that,
saying it randomly.
Yeah, New Year, same old bollocks. One of my magpies, or mag spies, as I like to call them, has intercepted this. In my hand, I hold Ian Skinner's list of New Year's resolutions. It's written in them scented felt tips as well that you get from Crayola. And this one apparently is used tinfoil smell, so that's fun. Anyway, these are this is Ian Skinner's New Year's resolutions in the order that they're written. 1, find a shop that sells French horns. Buy one and learn how to play it. Good. That's good. 2, invent new type of gravel. 3, finally set up my Etsy shop, and then underneath there's a list of possible names for it. Whittle Shop of Horrors, Whittle Me This, and most disturbingly, Let Me Do My Whittle on You. I'm assuming it's about whittling, but I don't know.
I didn't know he was into whittling, but
neither did I. I'm hoping it's whittling. Otherwise, that last one's very disturbing. Number 4, Fight a Seahorse. Number 5, form a French horn Aswad tribute act with Claire Balding and H from Steps, possibly called Horny French. I know. Next, bury some treasure for future generations. Look at how much Eden Project tickets are. If not there, Bermondsey. And the last one, smash capitalism, brackets, if time. So that's nice, isn't it?
Jones.
is he going to fight the seahorse in water, or is it coming on land?
I don't know. It's his resolutions, not mine.
Fair point. Yeah.
I would say in a wading pool, so at least it's
Yeah,
fairly matched. Yeah.
That makes sense. Good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Oh, yeah. News. Okay. We're doing that. Good.
Yeah.
Free agents. New year, new free agents. So many free agents and contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be good. Tom Pestock, formerly known as Baron Corbin, is officially a free agent. He was informed 2 months ago that WWE would not be renewing his contract. That period has now expired, and he is no longer under WWE contract. New Japan, I believe, to be interested in signing him. But
That'd be good.
How. Yeah, I think he'd do well there.
Yeah. Plus, they need someone.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
Speedball Mike Bailey has been done with TNA since October, but his deal actually ran through through the end of 2024. He'll be heading to AW imminently, according to Fightful Select. Steph DeLander is a free agent, but currently sidelined with an injury. Along with Matt Cardona, she was 2023 Indie Act of the Year winner in the Fightful Awards. So we'll just see where she turns up, if anywhere.
She's been in GCW a lot because Cardona's there, but I haven't really seen her anywhere else. That's just me.
No, I've never actually seen her. Kushida, Aiden Prince, Bhupinder Gajar, Jade Chung, and Trent Seven are among other talent whose contracts coming up in 2024. There's also traditional New Japan start of year contracts coming up.
Yeah.
Gabe Kidd, contract coming up soon. Obviously, he was in that match with Omega, which was pretty great. Kidd is expected to be a talent New Japan hope to retain, but Fightful haven't heard if negotiations are ongoing or not because it's New Japan and it seems to be chaos.
Yeah.
I love him, but it seems to be chaos.
It feels very shit constantly. It's just people going around going, shit, what's happening? But yeah.
Yeah. David Finlay as well. He was IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion until this weekend, losing it to Yota Tsuji at Wrestle Kingdom. New Japan sources say they expect him to remain with the company, and New Japan have expressed interest in retaining him. Joe Maloney, again, same deal. Apparently, there's been Fightful outside interest in him, but Fightful aren't sure from where. In sort of weird news, Konosuke Takeshita signed a 1-year deal with New Japan. He's still with AEW though, so he's got a dual contract. I don't know if he's still with DDT. I meant to look that up.
Probably not, because I don't think you can
Surely not. Yeah.
do DDT and New Japan.
I doubt it. It would seem that'd be particularly weird.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find confirmation of that anywhere, so I wasn't sure. He defeated Shingo at Wrestle Kingdom to get the Never Openweight title, and he defended the Never Openweight Championship and the AEW International title against Ishii at Wrestle Dynasty. He announced he was now affiliated to New Japan, with Bushiroad CEO Takaki Kidani revealing to Tokyo Sports that Takeshita signed a 1-year deal. I think the contract is for 1 year, but AEW doesn't have many fights. Don't know what he means by that. If he wants to fight in the New Japan main event, that could happen in practice. I think it's fine for him to come and go. There are a lot of wrestlers like that. So he has a dual contract with AEW New Japan, similar to the arrangement Kushida had with New Japan and TNA. New Japan and AEW work together on Takeshita's usage across the two promotions. He'll be next fighting for New Japan in Battle of the Valley, January 11th.
Against Kushida, which should absolutely fucking bang, to be honest.
Yeah, that should be great. It's a bit weird. I saw some stuff about Sean Ross Sapp. Basically, someone asked him what's going on, and he sort of said, AEW have taken a lot of New Japan's talent and possibly letting them use Takeshita, the Young Bucks, and Omega will help maintain that relationship.
Yeah.
There's some speculation there, but it kind of makes sense.
I don't know whether all this is a bit because of all the stuff with Charlton as well. Like,
Yeah, I've got that. It seems.
I think it was a bit, and he took it a bit too far. But we'll get to that when we get to it. But yeah,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. Is this bit nearly over? No, not quite. TNA has re-signed multiple talent. TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich will be staying with TNA. Apparently, the deal was done last summer, but only just hearing about it. Ash by Elegance is remaining too on what they think is a short-term deal. She's been teaming with Heather Reckless. The final shot of last week's Impact was them holding the tag titles above their heads as they have a tag team title match at Genesis against Spitfire. And John Schuyler of The Good Hands has also agreed to a new deal with TNA. Apparently, been a lot of positivity backstage regarding Schuyler's presence in the locker room. Is that it? I guess this is also technically free agents. Becky Lynch. She did not return on the Raw Netflix debut as many speculated, but Fightful Select have reported that some people expected to see her on the show, but not only was she not on the show, she wasn't even at the show. She wasn't planned for the debut at all. Her appearance wasn't cut as some speculated, but it has confirmed that after a deal lapsed in 2024, she's since agreed to a contract with WWE. She appeared in some Netflix-related events, but told people she was there to be supportive. She always planned to make a return, and both WWE and Lynch expect to do business together again. So, Rumble, maybe?
Yeah.
She was in one of the adverts. When it showed them standing in the ring and all that stuff. For the promos for Netflix, she was in one of them. She's recording stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Rumble return, yep. Rumble victory, or last 5, and then Charlotte Flair comes out as 30.
Flair comes out as 31.
They've added an extra one this year. It's just a really, an odd number.
Upset you.
Yeah,
I'm currently going Io Sky and then her and Rhea Ripley. Maybe. They had a little stare down a few weeks ago at the end of a match. I'll take over. Chris Charlton, you just mentioned him, suspended by New Japan. Meltzer reported that the commentator was taking an indefinite hiatus after comments about AEW and Tony Khan. Among them, he was calling Tony Khan a money mark and criticising AEW signing Okada, Ospreay and Jay White and their use and booking since. Fightful has learned that it isn't a hiatus. He's been suspended for 2 months. People on both sides of the coin backstage, some were praising him, in the boys in the back, but others thought he was out of line. It was New Japan's decision, but AEW and Tony Khan apparently weren't happy about it, obviously, but it wasn't them forcing the suspension.
Yeah, there was some stuff in there that I thought was a bit over the line, talking about cancer and shit.
I didn't. I think I zoned out some of it.
I normally listen to it with Japanese commentary anyway, because I find it better. But someone was like, no, and I was like, okay then. So, and then I wish I hadn't, but Japanese commentary is better because it just adds to the what the fuck is going on of it all. Why has everyone got massive trophies? Why is this cum dressed as in a big fucking terrifying Disneyland costume?
Because it's awesome. That's why.
Yeah, I know, but I don't need it explained to me. I like the fact that New Japan is its own mad thing, and you can just watch it as a spectacle on its own.
True. Honestly, the English commentary didn't explain the costume either. They were just like, "That's
I don't think you can." Yeah, that's it. He stepped up a bit from last year. Yeah. WrestleMania plans. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes is the working plan for WrestleMania. Let's see what Hogan has to say about that. Fightful Select was told as far back as mid-November that Cody Rhodes and Cena was the plan after it was indicated that the Rock's schedule was unclear for Mania. That had been widely reported by a lot of people. I'm assuming the Rock's got a lot of free time after that Red One, which I watched. It was fine.
It was alright.
Yeah, it was fine.
But if you're going to cast The Rock in something, he needs to be in a safari suit in a jungle. Otherwise, I'm just going, when's he getting to the jungle? Because
it was it was like a shift. Go on.
No. Go on.
Okay, we're being too polite now. I'll say it was like a movie that you, if it was on TV, I wouldn't switch it off, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was alright. Got slated more than I thought it.
Yeah.
It just didn't get me in the same way that like Christmas Chronicles did or anything like that. It was just like, I don't care. No. I don't care. Your main bloke in it.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, I was like, is he supposed to be learning a lesson here? Because it doesn't feel like he is. It just feels like he's the same person at the end as he was at the start. That's no journey. That's no hero's journey. The only good thing in it was Tormund as the Krampus absolutely chewing the scenery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
snapping
was
off parts
good.
of the scenery and devouring it wholesale.
Yes. But other than that, I was like, it's fine. I won't watch it again next year. But The Rock.
I was going to say that the thing that's apparently thrown the spanner in the work is they're doing the Moana live action.
Fuck off.
And it's finished. It's finished filming, but they're having to do reshoots that weren't planned, and then reshoots are during Mania season. That's why it's kind of all.
Does anyone need a live action Moana?
Disney do, because it will make all the money for some reason.
I mean, like, historically, it's shown that the live action ones haven't made that much money.
I think they have.
Cinderella was all right. Beauty and the Beast was fine.
Oh, I'm not saying they're good movies. I'm saying they make the money.
I've never watched the Lion King one because
I watched 10 minutes of it and was like, this isn't even live action. If you're going to call it live action, I want real
lions singing.
Yeah, make
Train
it happen.
them. Yeah.
Do it for the art, cowards.
Get a guy with a chair and a top hat like in the old days and train them fuckers to sing. Otherwise, don't.
I want that movie to have a body count. Do it properly.
Yes. 18 cameramen were mauled in the making of not Be Our Guest. Be Prepared alone. Yeah. Oh, God. The thing is, like, stuff like Beauty and the Beast, I can understand it because they are quite old, technically. Moana's, 5 years, if that? And they're knocking out a live action version of it? It doesn't make sense.
It's pointless, but people will go and see it, so they're doing it. Like, it's not.
I'm
they're
going
all
to watch
pointless.
a hooky copy of it, but I'm not paying to go and see it.
That's fair.
When we can have new things that are good, like Inside Out, and to an extent Inside Out 2.
It was pretty good.
It's not as good as the first one. And yet we're just getting a remake of a film that is pretty much perfect in itself anyway, Moana. Like, I just don't understand it. Anyway, that's enough of fucking film 2005 with Barry Norman. The Rock isn't currently factored into into WrestleMania plans, but everyone knows that he's at the mercy of his schedule, as we just said, because of Moana 2. Before Cody Rhodes returned and won the 2023 Royal Rumble, there were some close to him who were actually hoping the match would take place at WrestleMania 2023. However, between the time Cody got hurt, his tip fell off, did it, and all that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
What match? What does that mean?
Between him and Cena.
Yeah, Cena, yeah.
Right, got you.
Yeah, I didn't realise. As you was reading it, I was like, yeah, that's not clear.
Yeah, because this is
match.
Cena's last year, isn't it? It's his last, in theory, it's his last hurrah.
And
hopefully he has the good grace to fuck off and never come back.
I think he will.
I hope so.
His promo bit on Raw was good in terms of setting the year up. And
I don't hate John Cena. I just find him very boring as a wrestler. Yeah. But at least he has the good grace to go, well, I can just go. He doesn't have to hang around waiting to get dragged out for the ratings pop. Looking at you, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker.
That's what I meant. Like, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I purely meant, like, I hope he has the grace to kind of...
I just want to clear that up.
Like,
I don't hate him. Apparently he's a very nice man, but yeah.
Well, and Make-A-Wish stuff.
Yes, which is just bewildering.
Yeah.
That amount of time. And like in a kind of tie out of that, the Royal Rumble 2026 is going to Saudi Arabia to the surprise of nobody. Iridia is the host. The venue is to be determined. Everyone booed when it was announced because
Los Angeles loves to show them the emotions. It's good.
It's justified, man. Like,
no, it is.
Saudi's getting one before we are.
Someone was it?
But they got a full-size belt. That's the problem.
I was listening to the Raw post show on Fightful, and Sean Rossap and Ibu were saying that obviously now the Saudi shows are treated proper. Like the storylines continue. They actually put matches on. They don't just wheel people out. One thing Vince was good at was bullshitting the Saudi princes into being like, oh yeah, this is important, but then treating it like a house show and wheeling people out. And this one reminded me of, remember the greatest Royal Rumble?
I do.
40 entrants instead of 30 when Titus O'Neil fell and slipped right under the ring.
Titus O'Neil is the only thing anyone remembers from that.
Yep.
But they used to think, we're getting a Rumble. They're like, no, it's the greatest Royal Rumble.
It could have been the greatest Royal Rumble ever, and anyone would just remember Titus O'Neil torpedoing under the ring.
Oh, I love that. I remember Butcher had watched it before. He was like, oh my God, I've just seen the funniest thing ever. Yeah, shit. It was inevitable. The only positive I'm getting out of that is it'll start at 6 p.m, so it won't be up into the middle of the night.
I know, but that's kind of the fun of the Rumble, being a bit sleep deprived and a bit pissed, and like making ridiculous guesses at who's going to come out next.
This year's one is good because it's after OPW.
Yeah, I know.
The show, but it starts at 11 p.m.
Yes, I know.
So,
I told you. I think my mate's coming round for it. Because she's like, "Oh, it's on Netflix now. We can watch it." And I was like, "You could have watched it anyway. You could have had the network login. It's fine." I don't think there was an account amount on that, or it never seemed to be.
There was
So,
supposed to be, but it didn't seem to
Three.
affect us that often.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be fun.
Report that AEW were restricted from promoting Wrestle Dynasty by the new Max deal. This is a report.
Read the small print.
Yeah. It's not. It's kind of speculation, I guess, by Brian Alvarez, but it sort of makes sense because I didn't watch AEW over Christmas because I was away a lot. I didn't have a TV.
Or in a porky haze. Yeah.
Oh, I was mostly drinking Guinness in Dublin for a fair bit of it.
That's true.
But yeah, they never really seemed to be
Push it as much as they would normally do.
Yeah, it wasn't really mentioned. But his theory is that they had the AEW Collision show. It's completely bizarre because it was immediately prior to Wrestle Dynasty, and literally the words Wrestle Dynasty were mentioned one time on the show in an inset promo by Don Callis. They didn't plug the show, they didn't tell you when it was on, what was happening, nothing. It was like it didn't exist. The reason for this is because the Max deal was on a different streaming service. But man, it was weird to watch. On Wednesday, literally, they were saying, we don't know when Kenny Omega's going to be back. It was like Japan didn't even happen.
Yeah, which again, we've made fun of WWE in the past for like just wiping out entire histories of wrestlers and that.
Yeah.
But when it's a company that you are in a partnership with, you'd
A
think,
co-promoted show.
yes, when it's
Like-
when half of your people are on there, like it's a weird one.
Well, I mean, it's more than that though. Like AEW was that was the whole point, right? It's not
Yes.
just like AEW talent weren't just booked on it. It was specifically a crossover.
yes, I know. You
Yeah.
preach to the choir. It was just strange though, because you're like, they didn't go, turn over now and you can watch it. Here's the QR code and you can scan that and it's on YouTube and Paymax and all that stuff like it normally does. It just was like,
And later in the year, they'll all be over here as Forbidden Door builds.
Forbidden Door, yeah.
The US version of it.
It was just a
I'm
bizarre,
going to stop
bizarre
promoting
choice.
that.
It's
Well,
very
that's their
strange.
show, isn't it? So yeah, but they probably say featuring all your favorite AEW wrestlers and some other lads from somewhere.
Some lads from Japan, which we found.
But it's not even competition. I remember when SmackDown went to Fox. I remember chatting with Butcher. Both shows were on USA. And Butcher was like, are they going to actually be able to promote the other show? Oh, tune into SmackDown this week on Fox because you're actively promoting someone to go and watch a competitions channel at a prime time slot. And they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
They did that and vice versa. So this is a completely different country. And a completely different service.
Exactly. It seemed weird. I mean, it is kind of speculation, but it makes sense at the same time. I don't know.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Singularity, I guess it's me, because I went to
You were
Over
the
the
one
Top
that was there.
Wrestling in Dublin, and I got to see live Valkyria take on Debbie Keitel.
Nice.
It was such a good show, and really good all the way through. But yeah, it was like really Christmassy. They sang Christmas carols at the end. Debbie Keitel's great. I didn't know her at all, but like awesome. She comes out to Voulez-Vous, and every time it goes, aha, she like points part the crowd. And
Nice.
Goes, "Hey!"
Very
effective.
Partridge.
Yeah.
Wasn't there also was it at Wrestle Carnival where it was Thunder Rosa and Mr. Blobby singing Fairy Tale of New York over Christmas?
That sounds amazing.
I just get texts off people going, if wrestling isn't real, and I'm like,
Explain this.
yeah, and I'm like, well, it was snowing indoors. They had that snow machine. It was just like those insane moments where people just jump in and go, oh, okay, still mad, right? Yeah.
A couple of moments. Trent Seven did a crime on Terry Thatcher's like chest, the chop. I sent the photo to the chat. It was just like bright red, horrible, and I was like second row, man. So it was vicious. My favorite moment of the whole thing: Raven Creed versus Emerson Jane.
Okay.
Raven, the current champion, got knocked to the outside the ring in front of us. And Emerson Jane started sprinting to the other side, to bounce off the ropes. And the guy next to me tapped the lads in front of us and went, "Move, lads." They just parted. Like,
yeah.
As Emerson Jane flew through and smashed straight into a bunch of chairs. That was like, it was there was no guardrail. They did not do that.
Oh no! That's how injuries happen. I've seen.
No, it was. I know what you're saying.
It's cool as fuck.
It was great.
But yeah, but it was again. At least they did it in the non. I don't want to use the word disabled, but where the wheelchair people sit. I don't want to use the word wheelchair people, but you know what I mean. But wasn't it on Dynamite a couple of weeks back where there was a fight right near where they were all sat and they had to keep wheeling them back? And I was like, just don't fight there, like, because it's cool as fuck, but also if something goes wrong and you were doing some silly stuff, people are going to get hurt. Like, it's.
I take your point.
Brody King's bumping that kid in the wheelchair was one of the coolest fucking things in the world because Brody's ace. But yeah, the amount of times I've seen people get really hurt in chairs.
Did Ash like the show?
She did, yeah. I took her to a pantomime the next day, so kind of had.
Yin and yang.
Yeah, did a bit
it's
of both.
opposite sides of the coin.
Yeah. But she really enjoyed it as well. It was a great show. And we did the Guinness Storehouse. I went to an awesome. I was a bit hungover for this show because I was at an awesome wedding the day before, and I was a little bit delicate, but it was still great.
I really like Lyra as well. When I was saying watch this week's Raw because it'll be a normal one. One of the headline matches is her versus Dakota Kai for the Intercontinental Championship. So the first one.
I mean,
that'll be an incredible match.
She was great in this, and I think Debbie was an old tag team partner, so we know each other so
that's
well.
a bit of extra.
So they had a lot of like some good counters and good. But just you can tell when people know each other that well, and the match flowed brilliantly.
Lovely stuff.
The mini stories. WWE talent Fightful has spoken to, so they expect Charlotte Flair returning sooner rather than later. They wouldn't put a timetable on it. People expected she'd be factored into the Rumble, but Fightful haven't heard that. She missed all of last year. She had that horrendous knee injury. I remember seeing that on SmackDown.
It was terrible.
She has been filming something as well, so I can't remember what it was. Some computer hacker thing that she's in.
Some drama thing.
Yeah, she is vacant. Fightful selects Sean Ross has also learned that Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, the team of Subculture, are in the process of getting their visas for the US. It'll be the first time they've had them since they worked in WWE. Cool. Triple H revealed on the SI Media podcast that Raw's length would be flexible. He effectively said it's like the shows that are on there, like it's as long as it needs to be. So you could have an hour episode of something, 30 minutes Netflix.
Didn't say Netflix.
Netflix. He said to him the sweet spot is 2.5 hours. So
that
3 hours
is enough.
Too long. 2 hours is enough. He also said that SmackDown, while it's 3 hours now, it went 3 hours last Friday, it is only temporary, and later this year it'll go back to 2. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, good, because no, I'm not watching.
If you could fill
it was actually good last week. It was better than Raw. Not hard, but it was the first time they've done it, and I was like, okay, your first one's probably going to be good. Well, we get it on Netflix, so
I know.
Bloody talk about Netflix.
They'll come round your house.
Netflix.
We love Netflix.
Fuck Amazon Prime.
That'd be good. Down to 2 hours.
If you
could Raw would be 3.5 hours, but it wasn't.
If you could fill 3 hours with stuff that makes sense and is interesting, do it. If you can't, don't just put shit in there to fill up the time. It's the equivalent of going through your university thesis and changing all the ands to thenceforths. It's
There are promising signs they might do that, which I'll mention in a moment. The Rock has received 96,557 Class A shares of TKO stock per an SEC filing, which makes him a babyface now. This comes as part of the agreement for him joining the board. Though these stocks worth a present-day value of nearly $14 million were not awarded until New Year's Eve. This is in addition to the shares he already owns, so he now has a total of 290,073, which is the amount of times I've heard Net said. According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, Samantha Irvin is currently subject to a non-compete with WWE, which prevents her from appearing in any combat sports programming. No word of how long this will be. Or if she's even interested in continuing in pro wrestling, because she's had albums out and stuff. I will add into there that JoJo was at AEW tapings before Collision. Doing some ring announcing, which was really cool to see her back.
Oh, cool. Yeah, good.
JoJo Offerman. He's Offerman. New Japan Pro Wrestling will no longer air on AS TV following the expiry of their TV deal at the end of 2024. Do we know where they're going to?
Don't know.
It's now 2025.
On another random fucking TV station like Clonch TV or Flib. Like,
I know somewhere they could air.
BBC 4.
Netflix, Fox, Amazon Prime,
Apple, because there's fuck all else on there.
Ted Lasso.
It's Ted Lasso and that's it.
Ted Lasso and Shrinking.
Shrinking, which I need to watch, why have you left me to talk about this? Progress helping UK wrestlers get US work visas.
I never replied to them.
Boo-hoo. They weren't going to give it us for free anyway, so balls to them. Obtaining work visas, they clearly never listened to it, so Obtaining work visas to work in the United States is an notoriously complicated and expensive process, with several world-renowned talents having well-documented issues with them. One promotion that has taken a direct approach to talent obtaining said visas is Progress. Wrestling based out of the United Kingdom. In a recent interview with Aid to the K, Lee McAteer discussed Progress has been obtaining work visas so their talent could work in the US, which we had previously reported as the case for Progress Women's Champion champion, Rio, who has been over there for a bit now, I think, hasn't she?
I think so.
Yeah.
Been on a few things, I think.
I've seen him Corey Brennan asked about which talent had obtained visas through the promotion, and the list includes several of the talent used on Progress's GCW The Collective events during WrestleMania weekend, including the likes of Kid Lycos, Rio, Band Like the Reef, Cheeky Little Buggers, Gene Money, and more. On top of the talent featured at that event, we also told by Progress sources that Lizzie Evo, Cara Noir, Lizzie Evo again, Charlie Sterling, Nick Riley, Tate Mayfairs, and more have also obtained US visas.
The funny thing is, normally all the mistakes like that is because I've rewritten it and fucked it up. But in this case, I'm pretty sure I just
copy and pasted
this bit because I didn't have time.
That's fine. We were told that while the financial burden of obtaining these visas was substantial, it is belief of higher ups in the promotion that the long-term positives of growing the UK scene and Progress's visibility made it worth it, and they see it as a worthy investment. That was some propaganda brought to you by Progress.
Fair enough. I don't know, man. There's some fight for, but it was a bit propaganda-y.
It feels very much like, aren't we great? Like when we did all that stuff in Saudi to show how we're bringing wrestling forward, and then never fucking mentioned it again.
Final bit of news: reactions to Mercedes Moné winning the undisputed British Women's Championship at AEW New Japan Wrestle Dynasty, whichever one it is. I got confused. Corey Brennan asked up and down the UK scene, including sources in Red Pro, who were overwhelmingly positive about the decision to have Mercedes Moné as undisputed Women's Champion. I'm not surprised. That makes a lot of sense. Why would you be sad about it? Rev Pro higher-ups expressed excitement about the growth of the division, along with looking forward to working with Mercedes to book future title defenses in the UK, and confirmed that will happen. Outside of Rev Pro, we spoke to other promoters in the UK who were thrilled for Rev Pro and the eyes Moné's title raid would bring to the promotion and the rest of the UK scene. Outside talent also expressed a desire to see Moné wrestle in other promotions in the United Kingdom, including Riot Cabaret, where Thunder Rosa is currently the champion.
It was Riot Cabaret, sorry, not Riot.
So that the Mr. Blob? Yeah, okay.
Mr. Blobby one, yeah.
Brilliant. Overall, the scene's happy to have Mercedes and the additional eyes she brings wherever she goes, which, yes, why would
Who
you?
wouldn't be?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, nerds on the internet, yeah.
Yeah, them ones.
I watched the match just before. That's what was coming on my iPad when I opened it. It was really good. The match.
Oh yeah, that was a great match.
She can wrestle. I just don't think she's been given the time to do it in AEW, or has chosen not to do, and just does big matches. And I mean,
the match with Statlander's great, right? But
yes. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know why.
I don't think she's been booked well.
Yes.
The matches are always good, like the Camilla stuff. You watched her highlight package from last year that she presented on the New Year's Dynamite. There's nothing about her. She was cut from everything.
That's so weird. Something must have happened there, but
something has to have happened. Yeah.
God knows what.
And her moneymaker was good. The finish with Mina, same to Jamie Foyt. What was the show just before the World's End against Stat?
Yes.
That as well, the moneymaker was really, really good, and it's there's no room for error in setting up that move. It either looks shit or it looks really, really good.
Yes.
And credit to her for keep doing it, because the one against Mina and the one against Stat looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
Where they were hit and countered.
They finally
like a counter finisher. It's a counter finisher. That's why they were good in them.
I'm nothing against her. I just don't think her run in AEW has been particularly good, and she needs to drop that belt and go for the main one. Because if she's going around the world winning belts, then why is she still only your mid-card champion?
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
I've got a weird suspicion that new up-and-coming rookie Tony Storm is going to win that one, just for the bands in it. But yeah,
I love new and upcoming rookie Tony Storm.
The bit where she went, look, it's Briscoe, and Briscoe was just stood there like, I've met you 1,000 times.
He's got a casino battle royale to win.
She has?
Casino Gauntlet. Gauntlet battle royale. Gauntlet, sorry, yeah.
Best of luck to her.
Yeah, hope she
working her way up from the pre-show.
Way up.
Oh, it's like the interview with RJ that she did as well. And he's like, what about your title reign? Oh, I wish. Yeah, no.
For a split second, I was a little disappointed when she came out. I was like, "Oh, that's the end of time with Tony Storm."
No.
That gimmick probably had a lifespan on it. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a bit sad, but that's fine. And then this happened. I was like, "Oh, this is
knew
brilliant."
when to walk away. That's the thing. Instead of running it into the ground, leave while it's still hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Show reviews there, we've already mentioned it quite a lot, and it is not Netflix. It's the New Japan shows this weekend. I know you've watched them, Joe. John.
Yep.
I have watched Omega and Kidd. I really wanted to have got that watched before tonight, and the Mercedes match and Mina. But I watched Omega Kidd, but rest of the shows, it was the highlights.
I watched it all. I had my usual caffeine-fueled highs and lows. I had a good time. It's a good show. It's just they're in a sort of transitional period. They don't have the same big stars they used to have. So I don't think it was good as other years, but I still enjoyed it. Maybe Watami versus Azumi, I think it is. The Stardom match. Didn't get long, but very stiff, very hard hitting. People just diving off turnbuckles like there's no tomorrow. I had a great time. I loved it. Every time I see one of his matches, my hand like hovers over the Stardom subscription page, just like. But I never. It's more of a time thing
than a financial thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not enough hours to watch actual, wrestling that we've been watching for a long time. Then it starts something new. Yeah.
Yep. I had El Fantasmo versus Jeff Cobb versus Ren Narita versus I don't even know how to say his name anymore. I don't know. I was in a caffeine crash at this time. It was great to see El Fantasmo back. He's had a cancer scare recently, and he was out for a while. I didn't know he was back because I haven't seen New Japan in a couple of months. This match included Jeff Cobb doing a dive over the ropes, and that is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
You wouldn't need tapping on the shoulder to move then, would you? You'd be 9 rows back at that point.
Just be gone. El Fantasmo won to become a new TV champion, so yeah, great. Nice sign of. It's nice for him to get that title given he deserves it anyway. Tanahashi's doing his retirement year, and still kicked it off a match with Evil, a match we all wanted. House of Torture being the best faction, as we know.
Yep, no lies spoken.
I've gone all the way back around to saying they're great. I don't
like the Chris Jericho circle, isn't it?
Yeah. They got so shit, but it kind of overflowed, and I've gone to like good.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about that match. Tanahashi beat Evil. Shibata turned up to make the save when House of Torture attacked him and challenged him to a match at Wrestle Dynasty, which was I'll just cover now. It was a 5-minute pointless match because they're too scared of him dying, so they don't want him to do proper matches.
No, it was a weird thing, but yeah. It's building to something. He's like I said, he's got a couple more good matches left in him if he doesn't explode before then. Yeah,
true. Shingo versus Takeshita for the Never Openweight Championship. I've kind of covered this. So I said that because Takeshita won, but a bit of a slow start for me. But I was really enjoying it. Takeshita is now double champion with the AEW title he's got. This match, yeah. This Doki versus El Desperado was shaping up to be my match of the night. We're like 5 minutes in. It was brilliant. Where they were just diving off stuff,
leaping everywhere, yeah,
doing mad Super Junior stuff, and then Doki landed funny, yeah, and you can see it as soon as it hits the ground, and the referee calls it off immediately, and it's
it was gross.
It's gross. I was really sad about this one, both from Doki's point of view and also just because I was loving it up to that point. Suji beat David Finlay for the which title was it? Global Heavyweight Championship. I've lost track of what titles are called. One was changed hands a few times. I've changed name a few times. This was good. Again, I just don't have. I enjoyed it at the time. I just don't have what to say about it. I think. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like I said, I've skimmed through it, and it's all solid, but it just didn't have that Mania sort of feel about it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, you got the next match of Naito versus Hiromu. It was doing like a one-off, an LIJ versus. There's nothing on the line though. It's fair because Naito is a big draw in Japan, I think, and Naito versus Hiromu is something people want to see, and it was a good match, but.
There's nothing there for it.
Nothing, other than that they've been long-time faction mates. Yeah. I guess. Maybe I'm missing something because I haven't watched it as long as other people. So maybe if
possibly, yeah.
And like Zack Sabre Jr. This Shota Umino, it's a good match, but at no point did I ever consider Shota was going to win.
No,
it just wasn't. No one wanted him to win either. Not in a bad way for him, but no one wants the title off Zack yet, and he's not got that. He's not quite been built up to that status yet.
Yeah. That was a match. I saw some discourse around. I haven't watched it, so I'm just that Ibushi. I like Ibushi because he says it doesn't matter what company it is. He'll say the good and the bad, and he'll call out he wants. And he said people were saying, "Oh, you're calling Zack Sabre Jr. shit," and he's like, "No." He said they've got this method that the main event has to be some 45, 50-minute epic,
Yes.
and that he is not built. That is not his style to do that. His style is 20-minute like technical masterclass.
Just dismantle you.
Which is why he was great when he was
They need to be able
champion.
to break the mold. They don't have to have every main event be an hour long.
Yeah,
event.
I think if you're going to have a 45 minute,
fair.
yeah, no, that's fair. It's a good match, but it's a bit overlong, and I think if someone wants them to go 45 minutes, it has to be. You have to think there's a chance of it going either way. You have to be kind of on your toes a bit, and I was just like,
it wasn't ever on that card. No,
at no near fall for Shota did I ever go. Ooh, it was just like they had a bit of a story because Red Shoes, the referee, is his dad, but that.
Yeah, but he's not going to. Red Shoes ain't going to.
Why he was allowed to referee that match?
Yeah, but he ain't going to be dishonourable. Like, you know what I mean? He ain't going to call it in one favour because that's not how he works. I get what you're saying.
He did get to beat Claudio Dynasty, which was good.
Yeah,
unexpected. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So I think we could do Moxley versus Umino at Forbidden Door because they've got a long-term history together. He was like his protege, so that makes sense.
Turning on his father. Yeah.
We've already done Mina versus Mercedes. Already done Hiroshi. There's a mad Lucha Gauntlet match for some reason. It was fun. I've
seen clips of that, and it looked insane. It just looked like a load of lads just spinning around, like some kind of satanic Morris dancing. Yeah.
The women's cup match on the pre-show was fun too, but it had Athena and Nightingale on it. I don't know who the others are. Stephanie and Momo Watanabe. It was good. A bit throwaway, I guess, but it's good to see Athena.
Yeah. Oh, she hit a tremendous looking Eclipse or whatever it's called now. face. Yeah. In that.
Yeah, she just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I've seen that picture. Is that the one in the picture when she's made her?
It was yeah. The bits of it I've seen, I haven't watched it all because.
Yeah. The Bucks are the tag team champions. It was good.
Yeah.
Yota Tsuji beat Jack Perry because for the global heavyweight champion he won the day before. They weren't going to give that to Jack Perry straight away.
No. He didn't even have his goat head on. No, fucking coward.
Disappointing. And again, like dual main events, Zack Sabre Jr. with Ricochet. Ricochet's not winning.
No,
he's just not. Like it was a good match, but he's not winning. It was worth entirely for Omega and Gabe Kidd though. That was. You're like, Omega, it's your first time back. You've been out for quite a while. Do you want to chill a bit?
Easy? Like,
no, man. Suplex me through some tables, onto chairs, cut my face open.
I've been away for a year. I've got all this excess blood that needs letting out.
Like he's like a medieval times.
Like Michael Paul, yeah. I've said it before, that's why Cody has to bleed now.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
That was great.
Overproduction of hemoglobin. I thought he's either going to back out and he's going to not like a soft match, but like a fairly safe match, or he's going to come out and just fucking try and kill himself. And he went with the second option. Yeah,
I did kind of assume that Kidd would take the worst bumps, but no, they both, yeah. And he should get a lot of credit, I think, because Omega's been out for a year, and I'm not saying he was useless because he's been out for a year, but Gabe Kidd must have done a lot of work to make him look as good as he did.
Yeah. I mean, it's Kenny as well. Like,
oh yeah, of course, but
yeah,
a year out,
knock that ring rust off and surgery and all that jazz. But yeah, it was a good match, and I believe Kidd is going to show up at some places. Maybe, I don't know. I just have a feeling.
You think?
Yeah. After that, like I don't.
After that, and his contract is supposed to be up, so see what happens. Well, this was one of the few matches that really played up the New Japan versus AEW thing. He really went for it. He had the New Japan logo on his trunks. He was very and not many matches did that.
I think it's just because that's what I'm saying. It didn't feel half-assed, but it's kind of like the heart wasn't in it.
There was no build because
they weren't allowed to.
Yeah. So it's just a bit like, I didn't have a clue. Other than Kids versus Omega, I didn't have a clue what was on this show.
No. Again, it just didn't grab me the way that previous years have. It wasn't terrible.
And that's more of a indication of how good previous years are.
Yeah.
Rather than saying this is a bad show. It's not a bad show. It's just not as insane
solid
as other years. You know, there's nothing as crazy as Ospreay versus Omega or that kind of shit.
Kid versus Omega was pretty fucking mental, it in no way was it a bad show. It was just
last year we got Okada versus Danielson, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
When your expectations are set so high by previous years, anything that you can't forever keep building on that.
No.
There's going to be times when it just slides back a bit, and that's fine.
Well, especially when they don't have a lot of their main talent anymore.
Yes. But no, it's well worth a watch. Yeah.
Yeah, but it probably sounds like I was quite negative about that chat, but I don't mean it that
No,
way. It's just
except
not
it was a
good.
solid show. There was great wrestling on it. It was just all of it felt a bit kind of inconsequential, or you knew there was no risk of stuff really changing hands. Like,
Yeah,
or if it was changing hands, it was obviously going to change hands.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's those. That's what you need. Sometimes with bigger shows, you need that thing of, oh, it could happen. And with this, it was kind of like you said with the exact same Junior thing. Like, it's not going to happen, though, is it?
No,
There's no point me getting my hopes up, but I know for a fact it's not going to happen.
yeah, with a really good match, sometimes you can push through that, but
No.
I'm not saying the match wasn't good. It would take me a lot to believe Shota Umino was walking out of IWGP champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was it. That's it.
He would have had to shoot Zack Sabre Jr. And maybe I might have believed in the near fall.
Yeah, but it was good. Go watch it if you haven't, or at least go and watch the Gabe and Kenny match.
Yeah, watch that if nothing else, and
that's phenomenal.
And the Mercedes match
Mercedes match as well. And like I said, I liked the Zack Sabre Jr. shooter match.
It's good.
It was just long, and that's
It's
not
long.
like they said. That doesn't play to Zack Sabre Jr.'s strength because he just comes out, dismantles you piece by piece, puts you in a little box, and sends you home. Right, and it doesn't do well for a 45-minute epic because that's not how he wrestles.
No, that's the problem.
Pair him up with someone who takes their time and drags it out. Like, then you can do that. But it just never had it.
Yeah.
It's fine. But Kenny's back on Dynamite tonight.
Yeah, I've missed Kenny. I've missed Kenny so much.
I hope I saw. I don't know who tweeted it. Someone after the Gabe Kidd match, who were like, when he comes back, he needs to be presented big star, big matches, big titles. None of this comical and Jericho tag team.
Oh no,
shit.
I
appreciate we've just lost a year of this man in his prime and get him straight in there doing the big stuff.
I want what was it? I want bitter, vengeful Kenny. I want
not fun goofy Kenny. I want.
Yeah.
I've been gone a year. This is the shit I come back to. Moxley sellotaping fucking thingy up in a cage.
Yes, and I'm hoping there is now the payoff on this whole Elite versus Team AEW because nothing happened with that. I flagged it up and we're like, wait till Kenny comes back. So I'm like, okay, they did try and murder him, so hopefully we'll get something now.
Hopefully, yes.
He triggers
present him well. Have you seen when he's talking on his Twitch stream about Roman?
No.
Well, maybe was it a while back?
It was a long time. It's while he's been off when he was just streaming all the time. Yeah, I think someone tried to slag off Roman in his chat and criticize his presentation and boring. He went, "I will have no Roman Reigns slander on my stream." He said he is not boring. He's presented how I wish I was presented as the man, the champion, and no matter what happens, you are either booing him or cheering him in the matches and wanting the other person to win. He said, "I wish I could be presented like that." And I'm not going to criticize him. So I'm like, do that. You've got the chance now. Do that.
Omega barely criticizes like Punk. He was in a fight with him, so like he's a very what's the word? He's a very like
diplomatic man.
I was gonna say he's a fan of professional wrestling, no matter what shape it comes in.
Like Roman's presentation since the Bloodline stuff has been great. Before that, I didn't give a fuck because it's just boring.
Oh yeah, he's talking about
modern. Since then, where he's just like untouchable, and now the fall of that House of Cards checkmate. It's interesting.
Yeah. I don't. Big night tonight on Omega, but I loved his gear as well with the Gap making the Omega sign was.
Yeah.
Very, very, very sexy.
And the Final Fantasy music.
Yeah,
which was actually by one of the fucking Final Fantasy composers. He phoned him up and was like, "Hello, it's me, Kenny Omega. Can you write me some music?" Shit, yes, son.
I think he's retired from doing like full Final Fantasy scores now, but he's coming out of retirement to make Kenny Omega's music.
Yeah.
Anything? I didn't see it because it's been New Year's, and that was anything from AEW last week.
I have not watched any.
The Acclaimed looked like they're going to be splitting up. Thankfully, we're getting Bowens on a solo run, which is it's kind of good. Hurt Syndicate absolutely killed them. There was chicanery at the end, and Bowens kind of was like. Didn't fully turn his back on him, but kind of like the writing's on the wall for him and good. Because like Bowens is the superior on two, and it isn't an absolute whammer.
That's fair.
Julia Hart was back as well. That was pretty good. I think she tried to stab Jamie Hayter with an arrow, or maybe that was the week previous.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Which was a choice because that's not traditionally how you use arrows.
Sharp
as a handheld weapon.
Well, you
are sharp, but
you wouldn't see it coming. If someone's holding an arrow, you wouldn't expect them to stab you with it.
No, to be fair, but I can say that about a lot of stuff. I can say that about brioche. You know what I mean? Okada called Kenny Omega a bitch, as is
Okay.
another thing.
Yeah, you know what? The commentator was right.
No, what was it? He said, Will Ospreay, I'm better than you. Kenny, how many times have I got to beat you? Stay in your own fucking lane. Or something along those lines. So, again, it's building up to big matches. I'm trying to think of other good stuff that happened because there's been so much and I've kind of watched it in between the sort of cheese naps.
Yeah, in between the Christmas haze.
Yeah, that milieu where
remember.
days time falls away and you're just stuck in like that bit when Alice falls down the rabbit hole and clocks are just going past you and stuff like it. Yeah. Oh, Jeff Jarrett has announced that he's having one last go at everything, and if he doesn't win everything, then there's no justice in the world.
Go for the World Championship.
He's going for
Is he?
everything. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, they've announced all the 8 for the Mystery Wrestling first inaugural Mystery Wrestling belt, and I'm disappointed that Jeff Jarrett's not in there.
That's very sad.
But still, he could come out at the end, you know. I think he's back as well. Adam Copeland's back, just called Cope now.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That was okay.
He didn't say it like last year. Like,
Yeah, everyone was shocked by it. And I'm like, I've been contracting that for a long time.
Yeah.
it doesn't roll off the tongue, Adam Copeland, does it? When you've been Edge all your life.
But it just makes me think of the drummer from The Police, which is Stuart Copeland anyway, now I think about it. But still, the point's there.
We can both be Cope.
Yeah. Because they had a match with Death Riders that was pretty fun. I'm hoping this Death Riders thing pays off at some point because I don't know. Like it feels like everyone that was like gathering up to fight against them has now got involved in their own little things, and that seems to have fallen apart. So now they're just
not like, well, I guess Mox owns us now, I suppose. Like,
like Darby's still angry, but
Darby's always angry.
I assume he's going to be the one to dethrone him. I mean, I watched World's End and enjoyed World's End, but I kind of came out of it at the main event, at least, and went, I think that's what the whole Death Riders thing has actually been the thing that's been switching me off recently. It's been, for me, it's been
some stuff that
poorly done. Because when it started, when they fucking suffocated Brian and did the turn, I was like, this is incredible.
Brilliant start, yeah.
And it's just, yeah.
And now they're putting Ricky Horton in a cage. Like, you know, what's going on there? He's an old man, leave him be.
It's just, the matches have become like a B-Tech Bloodline match, and it just hasn't made sense. Like when they did that show and they were going to take over, I was like, well, you didn't take over anything.
Again, this is what I was saying before.
Took over more than you did.
This is what I was saying about before Christmas. Like I said, it's just some stuff in there hasn't clicked, and it is kind of turning me off from. It's no longer must see first thing Thursday morning stuff. Now it's like I'll stick it on when I'm doing something, and I'll drift in and out of it.
That's the bit that I've narrowed it down.
But Kenny's back.
That's what I'm excited about.
Kenny's back. I don't know how
he triggers everyone.
He triggers the shit out. Kingston might be back soon, and I kind of want Kingston to dethrone Mox.
Yes.
He just comes back.
It's not going to happen, but yes.
It's not going to happen. Well, no, how dare you? But it could. Like, he just comes back and just fucking, like, Ruthie's so ashamed of you and slaps him about. Like, yeah. And then Mox learns the error of his ways.
It's Kingston. He's going to he'll set him on fire.
Or he'll just fucking shoot him. But yeah, like AEW's been solid. It's been stuff I've watched, but nothing's really stood out. Like the wrestling's been fine and everything, but like the end of the Continental Classic was great. There was some good stuff in there.
Phenomenal.
I don't even know who won that.
I like the fact that Ricochet is now hated. Like when they were at the Hammerstein,
like his on-screen stuff.
Yeah,
I saw the scissor thing. Not a big fan of retweeting Andrew Tate, but
again, if it's a bit, it's poorly thought out. If it's real, he's a prick. Like,
those are not good options either way.
No, neither are good, but one's worse than the other.
Yeah, that's fair.
He follows him, so I think you wouldn't be following him if you didn't agree with some stuff. I did see his presentation though with the scissors and the attack, the American Psycho-esque kind of thing. Yeah, I was like, that's probably one of the best presentations I've seen of Ricochet.
Yeah, well, it's
saw people criticising his headbutt. Oh, look at his headbutt. It's like he's wearing glasses.
Yeah,
he's got to make sure he hits him with the head and not the glass.
Yeah,
idiots.
Fair.
But yeah, other than that, like AEW's been solid. I enjoyed World's End. But again, nothing has really leapt out at me and gone, what a wait around the year out. Like absolutely classic matches. Fletcher against Ospreay was fucking great.
Yeah, and Ospreay Okada.
But, they were never not going to be. You know what I mean?
No, impossible.
Because there was that, I think, because it just reminded me with the headbutts thing of Fletcher and Ospreay headbutting each other covered in blood in the middle of the ring. And I was like, oh,
okay,
Jesus
I may have to catch up on
that.
that.
Just on
really
their knees, just absolutely fucking butting each other. And people going, they're using, and I'm like, shut up.
But the limited use of JR, they've got that down to a T now. And I think him doing the final, he really put over Okada as this kind of mastermind of tournaments. And because Ospreay came in absolutely beaten and bloodied, and Okada was like hardly breaking a sweat. And I think JR did a great job in terms of kind of selling his experience at this.
It's that thing of when JR appears, it feels like it's a big special thing, and that's how they should be using him, and that's how they are using him. Like, because I was like, oh, it's JR. It's nice to hear his voice, and then he says something daft, and you go, wiggle him back out. off you go, Grandad. Yeah, that's right. Tie an onion to your belt. Yeah. But yeah, it's been fine. I'm just hoping that with Kenny coming back, some stuff turns the corner and we get stuff happening. Like
I hope so. I really missed Omega.
So when the Bucks come back, if the Bucks come back and we continue Omega's thing with them because of the attack and Perry, if the Bucks come back and that's just completely forgotten out, which I don't know.
There's a possibility.
I think they're going to come back as the saviors of AEW against Mox. Then
we'll see. It's the only time we'll tell.
Kenny.
I'm more excited for Kingston return, to be honest. Love Kenny, but way more excited for Kingston because.
How long's he been out?
Oh, a long while, about a year. Yeah, I never forget what the wise man said: health insurance is a scam. I read an article, an interview with him, saying about when he might be back and stuff, and the last line of it was, he finishes by saying, "Don't forget, health insurance is a scam." And I was like, "Fucking king!" Yeah,
what a guy.
Oh, he should be.
Yeah, should be. It looks like a good card tonight as well. Ospreay's fighting someone I can't remember who it was. That's going to be a very good match. Brody King's got a very good match. Yeah, going to be a good show.
And Buddy also against someone.
Oh, is it Buddy? Is it Buddy Will? That might be the one.
Oh, that would be good. I hope that's it. That sounds great.
Millwall's got the gauntlet match as well, which is always fun.
We're getting a women's gauntlet match as well.
Gauntlet.
We are,
yeah. Briscoe against Bobby Lashley. Okay.
Yeah, Buddy versus Will.
Buddy against Will.
Yep.
And then probably some other stuff as well. Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, good match. Anything on Collision? Or did you not get around to that?
Again, I've kind of just portmanteaued it all together because.
Yeah. So Jericho and Edge. Yeah, Jericho and Cope, had something, didn't they?
Probably.
Come back to us next week. We might have figured out where we are and what's going on.
Circadian rhythms will get back in.
Now I'm back on a normal sleep rhythm and going to work and, eating actual food instead of just Quality Street and fucking cheese. Like,
look, this episode is the equivalent of, the first day back at work where we're not really doing anything. We don't know what we're doing. I don't remember what we're doing or how we're doing it.
I just come back in and go, what is my job again? Like,
why do I have so many emails? What's going on?
Oh, don't get started on that. The amount of times I've do anything fun over Christmas? No. Staying at home, drank too much, ate loads of food, had just slept, watched Wallace and Gromit too many times. That
was
standard. Yeah, it's tremendous stuff. But yeah, like who goes and does stuff at Christmas? Weirdos. It's that thing as well of like, it's nice to have people around to visit, but fucking go home. 2 hours and then leave. Right, that's my limit with people. Fucking
Good to know.
Days. 4 days.
I'll keep that in mind.
4 days drinking my rum. Yeah. But yeah, and then I don't know. Do you want to talk about Netflix?
Netflix.
We've not mentioned them for sponsorship reasons.
Yeah, I'll do that last. Oh, sorry, still there. I need to do that. I'll do that last. As I said, SmackDown, there was the first 3 hour one. The promising signs that I alluded to before were they appeared to be putting a lot more time in terms of stories into the tag team division. Pretty deadly. Legado del Fantasma, there's DIY, there was a backstage attack, pretty deadly. I've kind of covered for DIY. And I'm just okay, if we're going to put more time into tag teams and that's how you're going to be using your extra hour, okay, I can buy into it because I can skip through stuff that I'm not interested in and still treat it. I can not watch all 3 hours. So, we'll see. So, and obviously they've got Chelsea Green as the United States champion, who's been fantastic, doing a little celebrations, just done. So, they've got the material and the roster to utilise that third hour well. So, but yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention from that SmackDown was they executed absolutely perfectly Tiffany's cash-in. I don't know if you've seen
Christina's
clip.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But what was this on Netflix?
No.
I'm not interested.
No. This week it's on Netflix.
Okay, I'll be interested for next week.
Where is it?
80% of the globe. On Netflix.
Yeah.
Unless you're in America, then you don't get Netflix. No Netflix or anything else. Only Raw. No, it was well executed because we've been saying, God, they've been doing the fake cash-ins for so long. It was Nia versus Naomi, who, let's take Tiffany's cashing out. They had I think they went 19 minutes. It was a fantastic match. You had them doing was it a Spanish fly or something? Naomi countered something off a top rope with Nia into like a Spanish fly-esque move with Nia fucking jacked.
Nice. John's Spanish fly ears are twitching.
I know. That's what led to Tiffany coming out. That was
would have been 6 in the Tokyo Dome.
But yeah, they were like, "Where's Tiffany?" Because they'd been abusing her. Candice LeRae and Nia had been gaslighting her and abusing her for a while, and they're like, "Oh, she's not here." And they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" But there was the fake cash in, and when I watched it, I was like, "Oh, she's doing that again." And then she hit Naomi with the case, which let Nia win. And when I watched it back, I appreciated it because I was like, it was so fucking clever. Because Nia Jax obviously was there, but she had Candice LeRae with her. Naomi was there and she had Bianca with her. So she went to cash in and then turned around and she saw, well, Bianca's still there. Candice LeRae had jumped up onto the rope. So it was like, well, if I cash in now, I'm going to get stopped. So she took out Naomi by bashing her over the head. That got Nia the win. Nia then was like, oh, thank you. I trust you. And when they're celebrating, she pointed to the corner because Bianca had come in to help Naomi. She pointed at Nia and was like, oh, shall I go get her? She's like, yeah, do it. So Bianca gets taken out by Nia. That's the point at which she smacks her in the back with a case. Then she takes out Candice. Because Bianca's been down, she then stands up, but Tiffany rolls out. Like she's very smart. She grabs a briefcase and she rolls out the ring. So Bianca kind of wakes up. She sees Nia on the top rope, and she does the KOD on her. And as soon as she hits a KOD, Tiffany strangles her, throws her over the announce table, and she's took everyone out.
Yep,
it's very very smart. And then she cashes in, does the moonsault, and it was a really cute bit when they're waiting for her to say she's cashing in, and she goes like that to the crowd, turns around, they are losing their shit. Yep. It was very nice. I thought of you, Joe, because it's 3 years. It's only 3 years since she fucking started.
Yep, when she
I remember you talking about her. Yeah.
Debuted as Daddy's little girl or whatever it was. Yeah, and I was like, this is dog shit. She needs to go away. And she did, I think, 3 matches in NXT and then disappeared. And we were like, oh, well, that never worked out. Shame. And then she came back just as a girly girl, I guess, isn't it? That's her whole thing.
Yeah, the Mean Girls, all that stuff. But she's super, super over.
Yep.
And it was definitely, for me, the best women's cash-in. I'd put it quite highly up there in terms of cash-ins, just because of the smarts of it.
Yes, I'm instead of just running in after a match and then getting absolutely stomped. No, pick your shot. Yeah, it was very well done, I will say.
So here it starts, and then we had Netflix, Raw and Netflix. Netflix at 1 a.m. I would say there was no issues streaming wise. I know nothing was reported because it was all like, oh, is it going to glitch and all that stuff. It was fine. It was good, and you could start it part way through and it goes back to the beginning. Got the option to do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I kind of woke up halfway through the show, so I could do that, which I was very grateful for. I'll do the good. It was a very weird show to watch. You said you watched it. Did you actually get through it, John?
I got about an hour and a half in and then just
tapped out.
To the end, mate. Skip to the end. Skip to the end.
I mean, even fucking Butcher watched it, mate. Like, that's, something's up. When we get a message off Butcher going, I'm watching Raw, lads. Like,
yeah, he tapped out about 90 minutes later.
It was like, there's been no wrestling. It's like, it's the first show of the thing. They're going to wheel out every fucker, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to make any judgment until next week.
I said,
because I did not enjoy this, but...
Someone messaged and said, look at it like the first Mania. It's a spectacle. Because I was like, I forgot the first Mania. There's very little wrestling in it. And Cyndi Lauper's there. At some point, fucking Liberace comes out. Like, it's bizarre if you look at it.
Does he do a Spanish fly?
No, it doesn't even play a song or anything. It was the spectacle of the thing. It was here. It's the start of a new era on Netflix.
It was produced phenomenally. That opening promo history of wrestling thing.
Yeah, it was great.
They had that. The whole
it's
setup.
WWE biased, but
of course,
And then, but yeah.
Well, I would say the last Raw on the USA, they did like a video package of like all the highlights of being on the USA, and they had Sasha.
It's not on
Jericho,
USA anymore. It's on Netflix.
Edge. I would say like the video package had all these wrestlers who are at AEW and have left, and I was like,
I don't care. I only care about Netflix now.
Netflix. No, I did
Everything else is dead to me.
that. The
Fucking
drone
Disney
cam,
Plus.
the Netflix drone cam, that was cool.
Yeah.
It's good for an up-and-coming company like WWE to get on Netflix, I think.
It is. The good. Let's do the good. So it was a weird show because they didn't feel like any like stories came to an end. There was matches where stories came to an end, like Rhea and Liv. Hopefully, please God, like that at the end.
That was a weird choice though, for for what is a lot of people's first go. Sure.
If you were just going, wrestling's on, great.
Story's ending.
I used to watch that, and then have the end of a quite long story arc as
yeah.
And I don't think they did great in kind of showing what the story was before, which they generally have been good at.
That's usually
doing.
something they're very good at. There was a point where I just watched the live event, the premium live events, and I was like, but I knew what was happening because the packages were so good.
Yeah.
I don't think they particularly showed that way. It was a weird episode.
I saw someone say it, and it summed it up well.
Netflix.
It might have been Ibu said the matches apart from the main event felt like an interruption to the
cavalcade of stars.
The matches were a distraction to them for what they actually wanted to do. But I thought every match had story. Every match either paid off something or were at least good. Drew and Jay was my least favorite, but Jay's entrance with Travis Scott coming out smoking a joint,
a jazz cigarette.
I was like, this is a we're not on cable anymore.
I also saw the clip.
Have
you seen the clip of Drew talking to The Rock? Oh, we're on Netflix now. Can I swear? Fuck. Shit.
Netflix.
Yes.
But shit, pussy, he said.
Yeah, that was it.
They were the first 3 words that came to
just the best 3 swear words, yeah.
Did you,
Can you imagine, though,
coming out smoke?
If you didn't, you don't really watch wrestling. Maybe you watched it a long time ago. You turn Netflix on. Raw's there. You're like, oh, I used to watch wrestling. And you switch this on. What do you think is happening?
Is it always like this?
Yeah, I'd be so confused. I was pretty confused as it was.
Yeah, and I'm fairly up to speed with most of it.
Yeah, that was
I think like I said, just look at it as a spectacle, as we have arrived, and then going forward, it'd be business as usual. Yes, I hope.
I think I said it in the chat. The press conference, Triple H kind of alluded to. He's like, on paper, this was just a Raw. So, but it became so big. It was like we had to treat it as a standalone Mania-esque event, and that meant that the storyline didn't get pushed to the side. He said, but it didn't really get developed, or things came to an end. Yeah. He said next week it'll be more what you're used to and what you've seen. And when you look at the matches, look at Kaiser versus Sheamus. There's been a lot of history there. The IC title for the women. Chad Gable is trying to prove that he doesn't have an issue with fighting luchadors, so he's asked to fight the best luchador there is. That's going to be Penta.
Yeah, well, Penta got cut for time, didn't he? He was supposed to debut and got cut for time.
No, he wasn't. That was false.
No, I choose to believe that
Penta, the match was never announced, and people just went, let's use this to criticise. It was never announced.
He was going to zip line in.
To fight Charlotte on a helicopter, and that didn't happen.
He was going to zip line in, dressed as Spider-Man like in AAA. Yep. Get stuck halfway down. They have to poke him down with a broom.
And unfurl a banner on his way down, which just says Netflix.
Yes. I heart Netflix. With the hearts in the Spanish flag colours. Yeah. Mexican colours. Yeah. Fucking hell, Joseph.
I was going to say.
Good save.
So I think next week's is going to be more what you're used to, and you're not going to know all the song and dance. But no, the match was good. I was shocked Drew lost. I thought he'd beat Jay. I was glad Rhea won. I thought there was a nice callback in her kicking out of the Oblivion onto the chair, which is how she lost the title in the first place.
Oh, okay.
And at the end, Dom trying to hug her and want her back, and she just booted him in the balls and then give him the riptide. So, okay,
that was good.
Hopefully that's all done and dusted now.
Hopefully that's done and dusted. And the other match for Raw next week is Finn and Priest in a street fight. So that feels like that's the end of that one as well. So hopefully can pass all that on. I enjoyed the end of the tribal combat. It was kind of a classic thing of let's get to the bit when the shenanigans happens. But I thought they did it well in terms of KO coming out. I didn't really expect it, but I was like, okay, it makes sense because fucking hates Roman. That then brought Cody out, obviously. Yep. I thought that was quite good business because then Michael Cole was able to kind of sell the stories of all these different people and how they interlink. So if you have got new people watching, you kind of you understand where they all fit into this story. I absolutely love the fact that Jey Uso did not come out because he was just like out back smoking a joint with Travis Scott, all Romans fighting for his life out in the middle.
Yep.
And the main event had to carry a lot of weight because it was the only the only part where they really bigged up and made it feel an important part of the show in terms of the match. I mean, the tribal combat was, I suppose. But yeah, Seth and Punk was wearing his Ring of Honor jacket. But a nod back to what he said. He said someone mentioned it in the press conference, and he was like, "Oh," he said, "I appreciate you kind of noticing that." He said, I'm a product of my past, and Ring of Honor was a huge part of it, and I always like to show them little nods to it. So yeah, it was cool coming out in that. That match was good. I think they've got more that they could do. I don't feel they gave everything, and I would have liked a little bit more time. They did go 20 minutes. I like the fact it was a fight. If you watched it, it's not what we always say, like, let's lock up and roll around for 10 minutes. They just started beating the shit out of each other. The refs like get in the ring and they're just shouting at the ref like, we're going to kill each other. They went at it. Seth hit Punk with a couple of GTSs. Punk said in the presser afterwards, so yeah, I might need to stop doing that move, which he should do. He's not hitting them very well. But He said, I've never took one before. He went, fucking hurt. Seth hit them very, very well. But yeah, it was a good match because it was a fight. It was a fight. They released the full interview that Seth did with Jackie Redmond, because there was a Raw where there was like a 3-minute clip, and he was like, release the full thing, and they did do the night before the Netflix debut. It's really good. It is like 20 minutes, but it's really, because he talks about AEW, Ring of Honor, and basically all the stuff people say about Punk, but in the Seth Rollins verse of it, which is reality, because he's talking about and he praises him, he criticizes. It's a very, very, very good interview. But yeah, the match ended with the Moxley finish with the 2 GTSs. I think the payoff on that is, if the Roman is the main event from Mania, he's either going to beat Roman doing that, or Roman's going to kick out of that because he's going to collect the shield of it.
Yeah, that's the trilogy of that, isn't it?
But it was a good match, and got a promo afterwards. He was like, "Yeah, I'm 46, but I can still fucking go," and he did. They both did. Really good match. That last GTS busted him as well. I didn't spot it. Credit to Sarah, because she was like, Punk, as soon as the match finished, he rolled over. You know, like when they whisper something. I was like, he's whispering something to Seth there. But then he grabs the referee, and then the ref jumps and runs over to Seth, and he's got a huge lump on his face, bleeding. I was like, fair play, yeah. He noticed something was wrong.
He knew it was fucked. He fucked it, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the wrestling parts are good. I knew there was going to be a pomp and circumstance, but the constant, this person's here, let's wave at them, and I was taking me out.
McCulkin, yeah,
he was great. Bronson Reed is absolutely someone you should be following right now on Twitter. He's got a really bad injury. He kind of busted some myths. He said it's not just a broken ankle. He's had to have like bone marrow removed. All sorts of stuff. And he's like, this is a complex surgery, and he's going to be out for a very long time. He's just basically listing all the people he's going to tsunami. He said, when I make my return, can I come out smoking a blunt? He was like Punk and Seth after the match. He went, they're just glad I'm not there to body them, then grab a big bong and then tsunami Hulk Hogan.
Do a big bong rip and tsunami them.
Yeah. But yeah, he tweeted early on, because there's that, have you seen McCulkin's? Because he has his hat down, reveals it, and then does a little gesture. And he's tweeted, Culkin gets wrestling. I would never tsunami. Kieran Culkin was there as well.
Yeah. It was biggest pop of the night.
I didn't mind seeing this, and B Hudge, obviously, she's like a member.
B Hudge is always there.
Yeah,
massive.
And that was fine. I was even all right with Undertaker sort of being there.
Yes, Rhea was very happy about it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That is a rub. That is a rub.
Yeah. It wasn't very long either, which was
good. Like Mania. Come out, do your bit, fuck off.
Yeah. I wasn't happy Hulk Hogan was doing a promo, but I fucking love that.
What, him getting absolutely murdered?
Yeah. I was listening to Denise Salcedo was there. So when she was doing her review, she said it was such a weird thing, because said that thing when you're at a wrestling show and music hits and you just kind of instantly react and cheer. Yeah. Like, hey, someone's coming out. And it was like that in like the front row. And then it was like this realization of who was coming out. And then all these boos just started. Not one person was cheering. There was not one person who was not booing.
No, I mean,
he looked shook as well. You could actually see his.
Because he thinks he's fucking God's gift.
How did they not see that coming? I don't understand. Sure.
He was booed at Mania.
He was booed at Mania,
yeah, or whatever.
But news. Isn't he like Donald Trump guy now?
Yeah, he showed up in a MAGA shirt outside, and then he's hawking his shit. Like I said, is it wrong I want to try Hogan's beer? just to
Yeah,
see
I
how
get it.
fucking piss water it is.
Curiosity killed the cat and all that.
And like fizzy hot dog water is my thinking.
What did you
Like,
say? For people that Budweiser has got too much flavour.
Yeah, it's caused too spicy for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, I like the fact he got booed, and then I mean, there was that thing today where
the
it was
captions, the Netflix caption,
audience booing. Yeah. But
worth the 5 billion.
They don't need Hogan. He's universally despised. I don't know anyone in. I mean, there probably is people out there in the wrestling community or whatever.
Oh,
who
it
go,
definitely is.
Hogan's great. Like, because he's never been good. He's always been a fucking subpar John Cena. Like, same thing, innit? Eat your vegetables, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But like, at least like Cena's got charisma about him a bit.
Didn't Cena take the piss out of that in the Firefly Funhouse when they were like mimicking Saturday Night Main Event when it's
possibly, yeah.
I think you're right.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's It was funny.
There's another Saturday night main event the week before Mania is the next one, and the person kind of advertising it is Hogan. That's why I imagined he was there, and I reckon he was a bit like Jesse Ventura doing stuff for the last one.
Yeah,
if they were meant to be using Hulk, and now they're like,
scramble, get Jesse on the phone again.
It just took me out of it. I very quickly realised I was like, this Raw is not for someone who's been watching Raw and enjoying it, because it's, again, Ibu, as a purist, he said this was like a pamphlet for new wrestling people.
It was a jumping on point.
Yeah, it was not for those who enjoy the lore that's been happening recently. So once I kind of came to grips with that, I was like, okay, I can take it. But The Rock really, really pissed me off. Like that was too far for me. So when he came out final boss. He dressed like the final boss, and then as soon as he started his promo, he was like high-fiving people coming down. I was like, "Fuck are you doing?" Like,
yeah, I was confused.
That's the final boss character, and yeah, it was just like we love you, Netflix. Thank you, being great partners. And I was like, okay, well, he's on the board. And yes, if you're not someone who watches this, you know Dwayne Johnson and nice guy.
He's in Rwanda.
I get why he was there. I don't get why you had to say Netflix 8 million times, because anyone watching it was on Netflix.
Again, we're not circling back around to that. We wasted so much time at the start.
But again, I can accept it. What got me was Cody Rhodes was just sat in the front row watching him like a fan. And I was like, what's your biggest champion? Sat there watching this man who literally bust you open. Had to go at you
like a dog.
Constantly. Yeah. And the last time he saw you, he was like, the next time I come back, I'm coming for you. And then I was like, okay, well, they're going to go at it. And then he was like, you carried this company on the back for the last year, absolutely smashed it, and went and hugged him. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's, I guess, because it's a new era, soft reset.
Yeah.
Dwayne's now a face.
To me, it was confirmation he can't do Mania.
Oh yeah,
that was, so we'll circle back around to this in a year or so. I don't know. And then he did an Instagram live, and he's drinking his tequila with Cody backstage, and I was like, Kevin Owens is right. The two bits that Cody had in this show came out to help Roman Reigns win, because he took out Kevin Owens and he hugged The Rock. He was right. That was the only bit that pissed me off, because I was like, okay, I can be a long time watcher and kind of deal with the razzmatazz, but nuking tremendous story work that you
all that heat that he had.
Yeah.
And he kept saying,
Netflix,
we're about to get this show on the road. Yeah, he kept saying Netflix, but he also kept saying, we're about to get this show on the road. He praised Roman Reigns. And I was like, it felt like he was doing that as Dwayne.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, now the show's starting. So I was like,
this was like member of the board, Dwayne Johnson.
Member of the board, right. And then Roman won. And then he appeared. I was like, okay, now we're getting final.
Yeah, I thought, this could be interesting. And then
nothing happened. But
nothing.
The only thing I did notice, and I'll take credit on him for, was he never raised the one, and he was just staring Roman down. So when the ones went up, he wasn't doing anything. And I was just like, but I was on the edge of my seat. It was like, it's going to be a rock bottom coming. It's going to be a tap from behind. And then he fucking showed up on NXT last night.
Yep.
Why not?
The main event spot, like Julia and Roxanne Perez, because Julia's beat Roxanne. I need to watch that match. It's good. So she's a new women's champion. He came in the main event, and he was like, I've got 6 minutes and 33 seconds. I didn't know what I wanted to say. And then he went, last year everyone on the internet was going, "Why are you treating Cody so bad? Why are you treating Cody so bad?" He went, now on the internet they're all going, "Why are you being nice to Cody?" He went,
well, make it make sense.
Yeah, he went, "Shut up, know your role. I'm always final boss is always 20 steps ahead. I've got a plan."
No, you've not. No, you've whiffed this massive.
So, yeah, I could deal with all the celebrities. I could deal with
It was always going to be that.
I just couldn't deal with nuking.
Yeah,
nuking that. That was.
It is what it is. But we shall see going forward.
We shall see.
I'll watch it probably next week, hopefully.
And there's more to come from Seth and Punk. They're both. Yeah, that's going to be one of them that. Hopefully it won't be done like Drew, where it's like back to back to back. It'll be one like Hangman and Swerve, where it keeps getting revisited in between things because they just hate each other. It ain't gonna go away.
If Seth gets all his little people back for this Mania, I'll be so happy.
So that's the first thing I put on when it came on Netflix. They've got a lot of content.
But they've got like literally pretty much everything.
Yeah. So that was the first thing I watched. And Cena's obviously back, and I did like his thing. Because he came out, he went, everyone's saying I should win the 17th title. He went, I haven't won a match in 2,700 days. And then during it, he's like, well, I could enter the Rumble, couldn't I? If I win the Rumble, I could win the title. And I thought he did well in setting up the year because his story is, I can't win for shit. That's why I'm retiring. I don't deserve a world title shot, but actually, if I put myself in these lottery ticket situations, I can do it. And I was like, yeah, you've set it up well.
If Cena comes in at 1 and wins it, I'm going to be fuming.
He's going to win it. I don't think he can.
Cody's going to win it forever.
Cody's going to win it.
Yeah, Rock comes out at 31 and wins it.
Waco 2's going to win it.
So yeah,
Cody comes out at 47. It's again, it's hard to pass judgment on it until we've actually seen the product as it is and not the special Hoopaloo version of it.
The Americans are getting proper duped out because obviously they only get Raw, we get everything. Most of the world gets everything, and apparently they were still getting commercials, and we were getting like New Day interviews and video packages.
I thought about that because I'm like, it annoys me now on Netflix that they want an extra £2 and we'll take the adverts out. And what the fuck am I paying for then? Like, because it happens on just shit I'm watching now.
Yeah,
I'll just randomly go to an advert for something. But that's why I.
We didn't get any. We didn't get any. That's why there was bits of the show that felt weird, and then it dawned on me that they were the ad breaks in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why they felt weird.
It took me
at least we got something.
That's why I pay for AW Plus though, because I like the bits in between when they're in adverts and Excalibur and fucking Taz are just doing bits. Because that's what makes it. Yeah.
That's it. Busy week, new year, lots to come, and we are 5 minutes away from the Traitors, so 8 minutes away. So
if you haven't been watching it, watch it because it's tremendous television.
Traitors.
It is.
Netflix.
It is.
Wait,
it's only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I know.
Yeah, so we watched all of the New Zealand one last week just to fill our boots. Good.
I know, it's on my list. I said no, I was talking about it before, and I was like, do you remember the Australian one where that guy was a dick all the way through it, and then everyone just like couldn't share the money at the end, and he had a tantrum?
Oh,
you should have let me win. And they all just went, fuck off, and walked off. It's brilliant.
I hated that series, but the ending was good.
That's it. I hate that guy, but I've got to pay, and hopefully, and they all saw through him. They all knew it was him, and they were like, "No, we're not sharing."
Ones that ended, the ones throughout the fucking show.
I would. It is like 2 years old. There's another series, but the New Zealand one's good because the way it plays out is very different to how it normally plays out. And I was like,
okay.
The New Zealand, they're probably a lot more logical and thought out.
The faithful were very good. So I was like, okay.
The fame hungry arseholes on the British one.
Yeah. And I like the new rule that they don't reveal at the end who they are. Hey? He's like, oh, that shit. I was like, no, it makes a lot of sense. In the final, in the UK one, they don't say if they're a faithful or a traitor now at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because that Harry used that to his advantage to win last year. And
even though it's so obvious.
Yeah, and if you know there's a traitor there, you're just going to keep voting until you hit someone who's a traitor. So if you don't know that they are or not, I think
it was beautifully done. I shout out to that lass who went out first in the British one, who was like, I will use my psychology to work out what people are wearing, and that tells me a lot about them. Off you fuck, love.
Yeah.
No, none of that mumbo jumbo. Get out of here. Yeah.
I forgot about last series because that woman who went, and I felt really sorry for them. They were just ganging up on her, and they're like, "You never had a chance, love." Like last year, they voted out someone for not raising a glass when she didn't have an arm.
Yeah.
Oh God, forgotten
It took
about
me took me so long to realize she didn't have an arm because the way it was cut, like the way it was filmed, it didn't dawn on me until they went, yeah. But now it's exciting television, and it's a bit of fruity gossip for the boys.
We'll be back next week with the treatise section. So happy New Year! Thank you for joining us, and we'll pick you back up next week. Goodbye. Watch Netflix in the meantime.
Netflix. Goodbye.
Netflix now available on all your devices, even your fridge. Time traveling. See?